Now it says philosophy is the study of general and fundamental problems, such as those connected with existence, knowledge, values, reason, mind, and language. Philosophy is distinguished from other ways of addressing such problems by its critical, generally systematic approach and its reliance on rational argument. The word philosophy comes from the Greek philosophia, which literally means love of wisdom. Right? And go down. This is the introduction of the terms philosopher and philosophy has been ascribed to the Greek thinker Pythagoras, because he was a demon. Right? The ascription is said to be based on a passage in the lost work of Heraclides Ponticus, a disciple of Aristotle. It is considered to be part of the widespread body of legends of Pythagoras of this time. Philosopher was understood as a word which contrasted with sophist. The travelling sophists or wise men were important in classical Greece, often earning money as teachers, whereas philosophers are lovers of wisdom and not professionals, man. So basically, these philosophers were just dudes that were just, you know, basically they just make shit up, man. Right? They notice the word truth wasn't mentioned in philosophy. What they do is they just make shit up, you know. They just, you go to a barber shop and you got a group of jakes in there and they just start fucking chatting shit. You know, that's what was going on at Mars Hill. Right? You had a bunch of niggas because that was the Greek way, just to philosophize, man. It says Acts 17 and 21. It says, "For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing." So people were just making shit up, man. Anything that came to their mind, they would just make that shit up and go and philosophize about it, man. Look, man, we don't deal with fucking making shit up, man. We deal with truth. What's true and what ain't true. Okay? We ain't dealing with just making up all kind of bullshit like these religions do. It says, "Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious," man. Because they were just going out of control, which is what you see on the earth today, man. People just bugging the fuck out, make any wind of doctrine, man. Just making shit up, man. Rather than dealing with the truth, which is in the Bible, man. And true science, which is observable, man. And can be tested, and predictions can be based upon. Which evolution does not fall into that bracket. That's pseudoscience, man. That's philosophy, man. Okay? Heliocentricity is another one. They came up with that bullshit because they used to worship the sun. It was a problem for them that the earth was the center of the universe and not the sun. So they philosophized that the sun was the center of the solar system, man. Okay, that's all it is, man. So you talk about how the Bible is against science, science is against Bible, science is proving the Bible wrong. That's bullshit, man. Real science is with the Bible, man. Real science proves the Bible right. Okay, real science backs up the flood. It backs up the historical things written in the Bible. It backs up the truths written in the Bible, man. Right? It backs up the geocentricity. It backs up the creation. It backs up the knowledge in the Bible about one type of animal only gives forth of its own kind, man. That can be observed, and it can be experimented upon, and it can be predicted. Whereas I can predict that when a dog and a dog come together and mate, what shall be produced from that procreation is a dog. That's what the Bible says, and that's what you observe every day. That's real science. There's never been, and I'll repeat, never been a time in existence where a dog or any other animal gave birth to anything which was outside of its kind. Okay? A cat has always bred a cat and a dog has always bred a dog. Okay, and that's pure and simple. That's why evolution to this day is still a fucking theory. But you people think that it's science. It's not science, man. It's science fiction. Okay? Science fiction. Right. So now that I've covered what science is, man, I'm gonna go into the scriptures and I'm gonna show you that the men in the Bible were dealing with science, man, because science is knowledge, and if you ain't got knowledge, basically how you gonna eat? Okay, how you gonna do anything if you ain't got knowledge? That's why the Bible can never be against knowledge, man. How you gonna build your house if you don't know how to build that house and what proper materials to use? How to use a square, man, how to use a perpendicular. You know, it's just ridiculous, man. That's how ridiculous people are, talking about how science is against the Bible. Let's get Exodus 14, Exodus 1 and 14, man. People are ridiculous, man. This is Exodus 1 and 14. It says, and they made their lives bitter, they being the Israelites. Because another thing I'm gonna prove as well today is Israel. We are the real scientists on this planet, man. We are the keepers of the true knowledge. Right? Any inventions which have been produced on this planet, the pioneers of such things have always been Israelites. We are the pioneers, man. Okay? You other nations, you're beasts, man. You're living off us, off our knowledge, man. Every kingdom that was ever set up used Israelites to what? To further themselves, because it was Israelites among them nations which was making the inventions and pioneering different systems. Right? This is Exodus 1 and 14. They made their lives bitter. This is the Mizraim, the so-called Egyptians, made the Israelites' lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field, and all their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. And the king of Egypt spake. Well, yeah, I think that's the point that I wanted from there, man. In fact, we can go up to the 11th verse. It says, therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they, the Israelites, built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. So how? Let me ask you a question, man. How did the Israelites build the Pharaoh's treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses, without the knowledge of architecture, without the knowledge of mathematics, without the knowledge of chemistry? Because you got to deal with chemistry to be mixing up mortar. That's chemistry, man. So you people are bugged the fuck out, man. Now I'm gonna get an excerpt just to prove to you. Look at the pyramids, man. To this very fucking day, they really ain't got a clue how they built the pyramids. And if you know anything about them ancient structures, man, them ancient structures could not be built today using the technology that even Esau has, man. Because they was making perfect angles, man. They weren't no fucking dummies, man. Right? Our forefathers were not no fucking dummies. This is chapter 9 in the Josephus, the Antiquities of the Jews, book 2, chapter 9. Right? Let's see if I can... Now it says, now it happened that the Egyptians grew delicate and lazy as to pains taken, and gave themselves up to other pleasures, and in particular to the love of gain. They also became very ill affected toward the Hebrews, as touched with envy at their prosperity. For when they saw how the nation of Israelites, the nation of Israelites flourished and would become eminent already in plenty of wealth, which they had acquired by their virtue and natural love of labor, They thought their increase was to their own detriment, and having in length of time forgotten the benefits they had received from Joseph, which what Joseph was a scientist, man. Joseph designed a whole system to store foods, man. Joseph designed a whole system to store foods, right? He was an inventor, man, right? He pioneered the health systems in Egypt, man, right? Particularly the crown being now come into another family, they became very abusive to the Israelites and contrived many ways of afflicting them, for they enjoined them to cut a great number of channels for the river. So what? Irrigation systems, man. Irrigation systems ain't no simple shit, man. You can't just get any dummy to go build you an irrigation system, man. Man, trust me, I did that shit in university. I did environmental science, man. You know, I did biology with environmental science, man, and we had to deal with sewage ducts and all irrigations and all that. I'm telling you, man, you got a lot. There's a lot of equations, mathematics involved, man, because you got to put the channel at the right angle so it can flow in the right direction, man. If you fuck that shit up, it ain't gonna work, man. See, that shows you our forefathers was dealing with science, man, and to build walls for their cities and ramparts that they might restrain the river and hinder its waters from stagnating, man, upon its running over its own banks. They set them also to build pyramids, and by all this wore them out and forced them to learn all sorts of mechanical arts and to accustom themselves to hard labour. And 400 years did they spend under these afflictions, for they strove one against the other, which should get the mastery. The Egyptians designed to destroy the Israelites by these labours, and the Israelites designed to hold out to the end under them. Right? So our forefathers were master builders, man. They built the pyramids, man. And how do you know that it wasn't the Egyptians that pioneered the building of the pyramids? How do you know that? Because the Egyptians never built no more pyramids, man. Anywhere Israel went on the face of the planet, we built pyramids, man, showing you that was our knowledge, man. Right? That was our expertise, not their expertise. Right? Anywhere we went on the face of the earth, man, and where the most of the we got pyramids. Look at that. This is where the pyramids. You got pyramids in Egypt now. That's it. That's all they got. And they got pyramids all up in South America where Jake was, all in Central America, North America, Asia. Because we went over to Asia, man. Israel was in Asia. Israel was in Japan. Israel was in Spain. Anywhere we went, we built pyramids, man. Okay. Them Hamites ain't know nothing about no damn pyramids, man. Them Japhites ain't know nothing about no pyramids, man. Anywhere Israel went, we built pyramids. Okay, because we was masters, man. Masters at building, man. We built Babylon, man. We built the hanging gardens of Babylon, man. We did that. Okay. Let's move on. Let's get Genesis 30 and 29, man, and you're going to read an account about what our forefather Jacob, man, and he was dealing with what? Breeding of animals, man, which is a science, man. That's biology. Genesis 30 and 29, and husbandry. It says, and he said unto him, which was Laban, Jacob said unto Laban, yeah, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me, for it was little which thou hadst before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude, and the Lord hath blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for mine own house also? And he said, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything.